That's what mobs do. They chase murderers.
There's no way in hell you could force me to see this Kyle Rittenhouse situation as him as an active shooter. Like I just can't in a million years see it that way.
There'd have to be like a 5-minute clip beforehand of him like just gunning down people.
Like you're just so you know, you're unironically arguing for like mob justice and lynching right now.
No, I'm arguing that active shooters should lay their guns down.
He wasn't an active shooter. Half these people hadn't even seen him fire. The guy had shot one time and he walked away.
He killed,
he killed one person and walked away.
He killed a person, then ran. That's an active shooter. Nobody there knows whether or not he's still a threat. People will behave predictably in.
Yeah, the guy said call 911, and he called. I think he called his friend, told him he shot somebody. He didn't actually call 911.
Given situations like that, we're not going.
What's that?
The dude tried to surrender as well.
Well, he probably knew.
Then he went to the next police station or something because they were busy or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's like, so he just went and handed himself in. It's like, oh yeah, this is a real active shooter here, Vaush. Jesus.
Yeah, he probably called his friend over 911 because 911 he'd be on the phone forever. He's like talking to 911.
Well, I mean, I'm sure this is, he just shot someone. Okay, I'm just freaking out here, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny because someone in my Twitter mention was like trying to be like, he called his friend to brag that he killed someone. What?
Based.
Going to convince the entire population of the planet to suddenly be like
he's not even running. He's literally walking away. I don't know if he
walked out of shock and then he ran when people started to pick up after him, which is a reasonable thing to do.
Chase him?
Yeah, because he just murdered somebody.
No, he ran. He ran because he was afraid that those people would believe that he just murdered someone, which is a sane and rational thing to do.
Right.
That's exactly what they believe. That's what Vaush believes. Like 5 fucking days later.
And it's funny because he keeps saying, I'm not saying that he wasn't in justifiable self-defense. I'm just saying we don't know. And yet every time he uses language, he says murder.
Yeah,
active shooter. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yes! That's what mobs do. They chase murderers.
This is my favorite line. This is my favorite fucking line of all time. Mobs chase murderers. Vaush 2020. Sorry, Emmett Till. Really sorry.
Yeah, yeah, totally. You should put Emmett Till on a T-shirt with that, Vaush. Yeah, I think your fans might like it. Mobs chase murderers.
Chase murderers.
Oh no!
Thing they do to the mob rule.
Wait. You keep deferring to this intuitive logic. Submit to the mob rule. My logic saves more innocent people than yours does.
They're not innocent. I don't think mobs are innocent.
Yeah, mobs are innocent now. Mobs are innocent, guys. That's another.
They chase murderers, Adam.
I mean, Antifa doesn't really exist, right? So do mobs even really exist? I mean, is that a real thing? It's not like they're organized under a unified single person. I don't know if they're real. It's just a
good point.
The mob just chases the guy in front.
Fuck no, I don't agree with that at all. We can argue about that.
I think that is a wild belief that mobs are by default deserving.
The moral indignation in Vaush is off the charts.
It's so fake.
Destiny, I cannot believe you wouldn't submit to the mob. So wrong.
Of being killed because they chase after someone they believe to be a
You know that scene in To Kill a Mockingbird where the mob comes to go kill the black guy? I guess Vaush is like, well, he should have just given up. The mob was justified there. How dare that little girl displace the mob by calling everyone out as individuals?
We have a lot of movies to remake if this is really the moral standard that we're gonna stick to. I'm telling you.
There are so many terrible stories that Black Lives Matter used to portray and say, well, look how evil the past was. White people in the past were. It's like, well, Jesus Christ, Vaush has just exonerated them all.
Yeah,
they all really thought that they were chasing murderers. Like, fucking.
That's what mobs do.
Wrong.
Yeah, mob, it's like an animal. Okay, look, a mob is an animal. Okay, it's in its nature. You can't blame a mob for what a mob does. And they just chase murderers.
Oh, slow down the bad faith train there. Pump the brakes.
I feel
that's a great line. Slow down the bad faith train.
Like we've arrived at the conclusion. wait. We're talking in the context of shooting into mobs that are chasing you.
I'm saying that.
Hell yeah. Shoot into the mob that's chasing you.
Again, the language he used is so disingenuous. He didn't shoot into a mob. He shot directly at the 3 people that were directly over his person.
But let's face it, shooting into the mob is a good way to disperse them. It really is. The people, that's why they shoot rubber bullets, but, it disperses the crowd pretty quickly. Water cannons work good, too.
I don't think you have an obligation to submit yourself to the will of the mob because they feel like they're justified in chasing you. I don't even think that's a hot take. Okay. I think that's pretty understandable.
Because what you're doing when you phrase it that way is you're conflating different types of mobs.
Oh my God.
Some mobs are good, guys. It depends on the mob.
It really does. If it's a mob of communists, obviously, they're justified in whatever they do. Mob of conservatives, mow them down.
Yeah, it's Pokemon. If there's a communist type mob, it's okay. They're going to treat you well. But if it's a racist type mob, then you're totally justified in killing them all.
So there's a big difference between a mob of Klansmen who are chasing a black guy and a mob of people who are chasing you because they just saw you murder an individual and then run away. There's a huge difference between the relative levels of moral responsibility in these 2 mobs. So when you just say submit...
What if the Klansmen are chasing you because you murdered one of your oppressors, though, Vaush?
Yeah, right.
To mob rule, what you're doing there is you're conflating examples where it would be justifiable and unjustifiable to respond violently. If a black guy's getting chased by Klansmen, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to the people chasing him. But in this case, the logic of if you've shot a person and others come chasing you, you can shoot those people.
Does anyone honestly believe in a million years that if the politics of the situation were reversed, okay, and the kid who shot them was on the left of this, and the guys aggressing were on the right? Does anyone in a million years think Vaush would hold this position?
No, not at all.
Even Vaush doesn't think he would.
Yeah, totally. He couldn't. It'd be impossible. This whole position is predicated on the partisanship of the crowd.
Yes. I hate to do this, chap, so I'm going to duck out because I've got a few things I've got to do.
That's cool. Thanks for joining in, man.
Cool. Thanks for coming.
Oh, no. This was my pleasure, honestly. Thank you so much for inviting me. I had such a good time.
Take care, man.
See ya.
Yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. Bye.
Too ends up leading to a cascading effect where either everyone flees or everyone dies. And I don't think that's a reasonable expectation given...
Why is everyone fleeing such a bad idea? I don't understand. It seems like
even in his example of what you should do during a school shooting, the first thing they tell you is to run away.
Flee, get away, get away.
The whole point, this is so obvious. This is the police. They tell you if you see a crime, run away, okay, and call the police. It's not like go up and try to be a fucking hero. It's like only if you're in immediate danger and you can't run away, that's when you turn on the guy with a gun.
This is what is so disingenuous about it, because everyone fleeing is the thing that lowers the body count. And if your whole argument is body count matters, then everyone fleeing is the right choice of action.
Yeah, well,
where do you think he's going to go? You think he's going to get in a spaceship and escape to the moon or something? Jesus Christ, he's a fucking 17-year-old kid.
Adam, this is what's going on. Kyle is running away because around the corner he has a tank waiting for him. He's going to jump in the tank and he's going to just start blowing up the protesters and mow them down. You got to stop him before he gets there.
Vaush has seen a lot of Marvel movies. Maybe he's running out and the alien spaceship is going to snap him up.
He thinks that the Iron Man suit is right around the corner and Kyle's about to jump in.
Oh, no.
The way people predictably behave in mob situations.
So this is so weird because he puts so much responsibility on Kyle's shoulders about how he should behave, but he puts zero responsibility on how the fucking mob of people should behave. So this is very weird. This is very maybe this is like the weird communist shit coming out, okay? Because the individual bears all the responsibility of the actions of the mob, yet for some reason the mob who doesn't bear any responsibility for its actions, even though it's more people, their lives matter more just because there's more of them.
Just because of the more people, yeah. Which actually makes him a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, this is so fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
understand where this everyone dies comes from. Now, I could be wrong, but I can't think of a case where an entire mob chased one dude that killed like 90 people. Generally, like a few people get shot. So I know that we want to make it as extremist as possible. Like
I saw that scene from The Kingsman, okay? Where
I
they
know.
played the music and it made everyone go
Totally.
crazy and he just kills everyone. I saw that scene.
Were those bad guys or good guys? I never saw that.
They were good guys. They were just people in like a church or something.
Oh my God. Evil incarnate.
I know.
Well, were they, did they try to do some self-defense in there?
No, they play like a music that makes everyone just murderous. And then the main character,
Oh,
the actor,
okay.
I can't remember. He just kills everyone.
So they turn them into bad guys through some
Yes.
magical music.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Right.
Then it's all self-defense.
Is it? Is it really?
Not really. I guess if they're playing the music.
die down to the last baby fighting. Okay, I don't think that's how any of these things play out. Okay, if a mob of people, this is what you're arguing, if a mob of people has perceived that you've committed a crime and they decide that it's on them to enact justice against you, and you don't feel you've committed a crime, I think you have every right to defend yourself. What you're arguing for, and I'm going to virtue signal some more, how many times does a white woman scream and a black guy is like retreating from some area and a bunch of white people hunt him down because they think that black dude raped the white woman? Like, historically, this has actually been a pretty big part of like American history. And the fact that you would say, what?
That's Emmett Till right there. Well, no, the situation was he whistled at a white woman.
Yeah, but who knows what the mob thought too?
Well, the mob thought he whistled and that was enough.
No, but
I mean,
did they?
it's
Maybe they were
totally
saying, "Oh,
disgusting.
he raped her." You know, he grabbed her.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I want that T-shirt. I want the T-shirt of Emmett Till hung from a tree, and it says "Mobs chase murderers."
You can't wear that.
Quote Vaush. It's 2020.
That shirt. Oh my God, heads would explode if you wore that in Los Angeles.
Oh my God.
Jeez, that's worse than a MAGA hat. Come on.
That is probably the worst.
Well, you know, if they really feel like that guy
That black
committed a
guy
crime, I mean,
doesn't
like,
commit a. Wait, hold on. Wait. Your argument just supports me. So, assuming we're not talking about the black guy. Wait, hold on. So, assuming we're not talking about the black guy literally being lynched. So, assuming we're talking about like a mob attempt at like getting them or something.
Yeah.
So, there's no implicit lethal threat on the part of the people chasing that black guy, and the black guy himself does not have a weapon. As you haven't accounted for in this.
So he's basically setting up like a law enforcement situation where it's like a SWAT team to apprehend the person.
The
like
Citizens Arrest Brigade. Yes.
Well, this is why we have law enforcement. It's so bizarre that this is all going on in the context of the left wanting to defund the police. Because I'm curious, does Vaush have a stance on defunding the police? Because that's how you apprehend people safely. You don't need a mob anymore.
Right. Well, that's what's so funny, because they're all like, defund the police. We need more community policing. And then you have Kyle, who's literally community policing.
Yeah.
And they're like, terrorist.
Yeah, totally.
Situation, I assume, unless he's like carrying for some reason. In that case, it would be best for that black guy to then stop and let himself.
Destiny can't believe this. Destiny can't believe this.
Yep.
It's so when these situations happen and the news media doesn't have the full story, it's so wrong.
Irresponsible.
Yeah, completely irresponsible for them to come out and start talking about this stuff. But you have a guy here who will literally step up and start debating this stuff. I mean, I don't know how much he knows. I guess it's strange because do you think he's just not wise to what the situation was, or even if he saw everything, he still would be incapable of perceiving it in a logical manner?
Wait, can you repeat that? I was reading something.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
There you go.
Everyone chasing him for thinking that he had just committed a rape.
okay.
Now that sometimes leads to bad outcomes, but I think it will more often lead to bad
No, more often than not. That leads to fucking bad outcomes.
Yep.
outcomes if you give permission for any person being like run down the ability to just gun down people.
Listen, he's literally saying that mob justice leads to better outcomes than self-defense.
Yes. Well, this again, this goes. I don't know if you were away. Like, this really plays perfectly into the whole communist worldview of like, being anti-individual, being anti-liberalism, okay? Because you have self-defense is an individual acting in self-defense, and the mob is the community of people. So he's just saying, well, let's just let the community of people make the decision at that moment. Okay, that outweighs what the individual thinks.
The community of people needs to make a decision within an institutional framework. You know what a mob is? There's no institutional framework in a fucking mob.
Think about this probabilistically. All self-defense is probabilistic, okay? You don't know if a guy coming up to you, if you're a woman, if he's trying to like wrestle you to the ground, you don't know if he's going to rape you. But we would never use this argument for a woman, right? Because there's a chance he could. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you sacrifice your autonomy to that person, right? So if this guy is running away from a dude who is chasing him, even after he's shown that he has a rifle, right? That guy probably doesn't want to sacrifice his autonomy to a guy that's proven that he's willing to attack him, even though that other guy has shown like he's brandished a rifle and shown lethal
but this
intent.
is about optimal response strategies, not about morals. We can't expect average civilians.
You're pivoting away. Do you want to talk about optimal response, or do you want to talk about more? Because I'm talking about the moral justification.
I don't want to talk about optimal response. No, I don't expect the average person to be able to respond.
Then why did you bring it up?
Yeah, totally.
It's a stream that Vaush deleted, but I got a copy of it before it went down. And the part that I'm going to have you watch is basically his follow-up to this situation.
Oh man, guys, I normally wouldn't do this, but he was doing it, so I feel like I'm entitled a little bit to complain. You know what's fucking wild? I think I'm actually kind of done with Destiny a little bit after the conversation that we had. I don't have a problem with disagreeing with people. It's kind of my job. But after the conversation Destiny and I had, he is continuing to characterize my argument as me saying rape victims and lynch mob victims shouldn't defend themselves. Like,
well, I mean,
yeah, it is the logical conclusion of what you said, Vaush.
I mean, that's kind of
the
you did
logical
say.
Conclusion isn't that rape victims shouldn't defend themselves. Is that if someone grabs a titty, the woman shouldn't assume that she's going to get raped until like there's penetration involved, because it might just be sexual assault and he doesn't deserve to lose his life over it, right? Because it's not so dangerous.
When you put the words "submit to the mob" together, like it kind of makes that argument.
Like he actually said that on Twitter, and then I DM'd him on Discord saying that is in fact not what I believe. And now he's continuing to say it.
It's what he said, though,
he was doing it on
Vaush.
his stream, and he was extensively doing it. And
did he not say the word "submit to the mob"? I believe that's exactly what he said. Like that's a quote.
Mobs chase murderers. That's what they do, Adam.
That's another quote.
I mind arguing with people. I do like it. It's fun for me. I argue with everyone. But to aggressively mischaracterize me that way is, I guess, kind of pretty fucking disgusting. Especially since I feel
didn't he
was
mischaracterized Count Dankula as being a
Oh,
fascist or whatnot?
thank
Wasn't
you.
that fucking disgusting?
Thank you. Thank you.
Dude, he mischaracterized me as a fascist.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Disgusting, isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Mischaracterizing someone's position and actually calling them a Nazi. Those are two completely different things, guys. Come on.
very bad faith in that conversation, but he was being very bad faith. Or
did he just admit he was being bad faith in that conversation?
Accused me of fucking people.
Call
I do
him a
like it. It's
reactionary,
fun for me.
Vaush,
I argue
that's
with
the next step.
everyone.
He'll never recover from that. It's in Destiny, the reaction.
Oh yeah, totally.
But to aggressively mischaracterize me that way is, I guess, kind of pretty fucking disgusting. Especially since I feel he was being very bad faith in that conversation.
Oh, now now Destiny's being bad faith. The guy who's going completely against his chat, going completely against everyone online. Why would he do that if he didn't really believe what he was saying?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. You know, like this is what I say about cancel culture, which Destiny was a big fan of, and probably still is. Eventually, there will come a time when there is a position you cannot full-heartedly
Yeah,
agree with.
totally.
It's like with J.K. Rowling, you know, men don't have uteruses. It's like with Destiny, maybe looting and burning shit isn't fun. And then you're going to get cancel culture. Like right now, there's people reporting Destiny to Twitch. because he is glorifying violence.
Totally. You could. There's no way in hell you could force me to see this Kyle Rittenhouse situation as him as an active shooter. Like I just can't in a million years see it that way.
There'd have to be like a 5-minute clip beforehand of him like just gunning down people.
Yeah, totally.
Man, like,
Like,
look, if the
indiscriminately.
judge and the jury find him guilty, I'll be like, okay.
What?
there'd have to
What
be
did
some
we
crazy
miss?
circumstances that we don't know.
Yeah, like, you know, like maybe there were other things that we don't know, you know, like that you didn't see on camera, or there's more context to it. And, you know, like if a judge and jury finds him guilty, I will be okay. But like right now, it's up in the air. Everyone that says they know what happened, he's still innocent because presumption of innocence. You know, human rights, communists, get it? Like it's important.
They're gonna come out. Oh, you used the N-word like 5 years ago, so obviously he's guilty.
But he was being very bad faith, or he accused me of being bad faith with him. Your take on submitting to mob rule is bad. I'm not saying you should.
Oh shit!
Even his own chat is like, "What are you doing?"
Oh shit! They're like Vaush. We went out with your argument, and people made fun of us. What are you doing to us? You're supposed to give us good arguments. This is horseshit.
Should submit to mob rule. I was very clear with what my argument was. My argument was
submit to the mob.
If you're in a public area and you kill somebody, and then other people run at you to stop you, you shouldn't then go slaughtering everyone who's running at you to stop you. That's my argument.
So submit to the mob.
Yeah, submit to the mob. That's basic. Yeah, that's the argument.
Because if you do that, you have to recognize that if you kill a person and other people run at you to stop you, both of you are acting in what you consider to be self-defense.
Yeah, here's another idea, Vaush, and this is a really big brain one that a communist will never understand. How about we don't defund the police and abolish the cops so that citizens don't have to take their law into their own hands?
Totally.
How about that, Vaush? Here's a nice concept. I don't know, like, do you agree with it?
Let us know.
Like, maybe if there were cops there defending private property, you wouldn't need a 17-year-old kid with a gun. I'm just saying.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.